So in today's video we're doing a different automation script, and this one is going to drive the train from the siding over to Peel Station Platform 2. So I'll just start the script now. So you heard the turnout here being adjusted and the train coming into the siding, and here it'll have to wait when it hits the spot detector here. The turnout will be adjusted, the signal goes green, and the train now can move off. Now, as it goes past the brewery, it's coming up against this signal here is on red, and it's stopped. It's actually using a spot detector to stop at this moment, and then I can make it eventually so the signal will be triggered from another place. Then the train can go through the mountain, and then it gets slowed down as it comes on its route. Then as it comes past this signal, the signal will go red. And then it creeps into the main platform here. Obviously this is just the initial testing. When it gets to the end it will stop. Obviously I can adjust these speeds. This is just to make sure everything is picking up the spot detectors as well, and then that is the end of the sequence. Obviously I would then have a reset where it would go back to where it needed to be for the next bit of automation. So at this stage I've now got 3 ESP32 nodes, and I'm using this sketch here. So this one has now pushed the cost up to approximately £30, plus your CAN USB and obviously your DCC-EX. So probably you're looking in the region of about £70 to £80 at this stage. Obviously no block detection. You will have to buy signals if you want to use signals. I found a supply on Amazon in the UK, I think it was Even Models, that had 2 aspect and 3 aspect signals, still working out about £4 or £5 a signal. You know, so with this sketch here, this is controlling 2 of my turnouts. Obviously in Peel and under the mountain I'm only using 1 of the servos, but I'm taking advantage of the 10 inputs and 16 outputs. Obviously in Peel I put no street lighting or any other animations into that section yet, but this certainly will offer, you know, a lot of possibilities. I have created another sketch which I haven't released yet, which allows for 2 MCPs which will have 80 actions for the standard LED, and David Harris has also been helping me to add NeoPixels to that, and there's going to be 40 actions for the NeoPixels, but that's going to be coming out probably in the next couple of weeks once I'm happy with it. I've just ordered some strings of NeoPixels because I've never really, you know, experimented with them. So I'll just recap the setting up of the turnouts. So when you get the node, this is what the settings it will come with. The speed will be set at 20. For the slow motion, I have this normally at 5. When you move the slider, it automatically saves them changes for you. Next we've got the 2 tabs for the 2 turnouts or servos. We've got pin 32 is servo 1 and pin 33 is servo 2. Obviously you've got your location that you can put in here. So what I would normally do is T3 and then write it, and the same make this one T4 because that's what I use within the Dockland area. So what you'll notice here is we've got the 3 positions, position 1, 2 and 3. I've got this here where it says closed, mid and thrown. Obviously this is a Windows machine. These, if you're on a Mac, will come out over here. There's not a lot I can do with that. As I say, I do use Windows. But for each one of these, and I'll just put this back to turnout 1, or turnout 3 in my case, sorry. Each position has its own event ID, and this is what we use for creating the turnout in the turnout tables of JMRI. So the first thing when you get it, you need to take care. Now it's going to give you between 0 and 180, more likely it'll be 170 degrees due to the different servos that are out there. So you can get a lot of movement, and because of this you need to take care, and you also need to make sure you power your servos from a separate 5-volt power supply. But we've got the slider here. Now if you go towards 0, that means the servo is turning anti-clockwise. If you go to 180, the servo is moving clockwise. Now I usually recommend people start, so position 1 is going to be your closed position. I would suggest you start off with a number around 85 and then click right. You could do this with the slider, and you have got fine control movement of the slider by using your up down arrow keys. But as I say, you need to take care, especially if you're in a smaller gauge like N gauge where your amount of movement is very small. So you would set that. If you're using the slider, the servo will move straight away when you do that. Obviously if you tighten it into here, it will not. So to get it to move the servo for you, you have to use the more and trigger, and that just sends the event and it tells the servo to move for you. Obviously you would set your position 3 for your closed, thrown, sorry. So I'll just move that by this just for demonstration purpose. I'm doing this on my laptop downstairs rather than up in the loft. So you'll see we've got a number of other events. So we've got the servo has reached its closed position, in other words moving towards position 1. Another event gets sent out automatically for thrown. We've got servo has passed midpoint events in both directions. However, we have got frog relays availability on this sketch, which are on pins 25 and 26. Those are hard coded, so these events are available if you wish to use them as well. So to create the turnouts in the sensor table, or in the turnout table in JMRI, I normally would go T3, and then I want the position for closed, so I copy that event, and you see it needs to go in this bottom box here. So you paste it into there, you then go up to here, go to position 3, copy that and paste it into that position, and you then make a turnout. Now when we go to JMRI and we go to Tools, Tables, Turnouts, you'll now see we've got, if I just expand this a little bit, obviously everything is event numbers, but we now use the username within our JSON script. So that's how we get that information that you've seen, or you will see in the example for this video once I add it to the other GitHub repository. So hopefully that has shown you just how we can set up the different things. Obviously I've covered this for creating the different sensors. Even though it says in all there, it actually will appear in here as well. So anyway, thank you for watching. Bye for now.